Hey, Chiefs Kingdom, what's up? Gary McKenzie back at you again. Another episode of Gridiron Lines. And I want to talk about a player from Chiefs camp. Well, he hasn't really been participating, but a player on the Chiefs roster who has not been talked about much during Chiefs camp. And I came across an exciting number, and the player that we're going to talk about is Isiah Pacheco. And so there hasn't been a lot of talk about him during camp, and the reason for that is because he's been recovering from a labrum tear. And the timeline on the surgery that he had takes about 6 months, and he's slotted to be ready to play or ready for contact on August 20th, which is great news that just dropped yesterday. So we know Isiah Pacheco should be ready for week one of the Chiefs season opener. So he should be ready to go at the start of the season. The one stat that I came across from Isiah Pacheco that I found to be really interesting was that he averaged 4.9 yards per carry last season on 170 carries. And I went back through the annals of Chiefs running backs, and the last time a Chiefs running back had 4.9 yards per carry on that many attempts, or at least 150 attempts, was rookie Kareem Hunt. And if you remember back in the day watching Kareem Hunt, I think it was in the 2017 season, rookie Kareem Hunt, he looked incredible. I remember just being blown away by how much burst he had, how good of a running back he seemed to be. And then if you go back a few years prior, the last time another Chiefs running back had 4.9 yards per carry on a minimum of 150 attempts was none other than Jamaal Charles. So in my opinion, Isiah Pacheco with his rookie season really notched himself as a top flight Chiefs running back, putting himself in the same leagues as Jamaal Charles and Kareem Hunt. Now he's got a long, long way to go before he even gets close to sniffing Jamaal Charles's cleats. But the Kareem Hunt comparison, or the Kareem Hunt, saying they're similar to each other in terms of their statistics, I think that's pretty fair. And Isiah Pacheco, last year, whenever I was watching him play, and maybe I'm just telling on myself, I wasn't blown away by how he got the job done on the field as much as I was with Jamaal Charles and as much as I was with Kareem Hunt. Isiah Pacheco, I thought he was productive, and I thought that he was a player that gave it all on the field. And in fact, that's what endeared me to Isiah Pacheco probably more than anything, was the fact that he was always running hard and he was an energy giver. I liked when he was on the field because he was going to bring that pop and he was going to give everything he had. And, I really liked that about him. And I didn't know he was just as productive as Jamaal Charles's last really productive year as a Chief, and as productive as Kareem Hunt. If you would have asked me that at the end of the 2022 season, I would have said, no way. No way was he as productive on a per carry basis as those two. But he was. And the reason for that is a mixture of Pacheco's run style, which is just an ultimate scrappy type player, and it's impossible for fans not to fall in love with that, with the way that he plays. But time and time again, I went and watched every single snap or every single play Isiah Pacheco had last season, and there's a microcosm of plays in the Buccaneers game that I really think sum up how he got to that production while simultaneously not really seeming like, at least to me, not really seeming like he was doing the same things that Kareem Hunt and Jamaal Charles were doing on the field. And so, bear with me here, but these four plays I think are really indicative of exactly what Isiah Pacheco does on the field and why his statistics are higher than what I felt they should be. And it's because he consistently gets what I call hidden yards. So it's not like, Kareem Hunt, he just put his head down and mowed over a guy and picked up 8 more yards. The way Isiah Pacheco does it is he'll get hit and then somehow he'll pick up 3 or 4 more yards, while simultaneously almost seeming like he didn't get hit at all. And we're gonna see 4 plays where that transpires. So here's the first one. Run to the outside, boom, gets hit there, boom, gets hit there, and then next thing you know, he's 3 or 4 yards down the field. I mean, look at this. He's hit there, and he just keeps going. Picks up an additional 3 or 4 yards, and he does it like it's nothing. Ends up picking 8 yards on the play. And these are 4 consecutive plays versus the Buccaneers, who at that time were being touted as having one of the most stout defensive lines, really stout defense overall, heading into this game. So the next play, another run play to the outside, gets hit again, and picks up 6 or 7 yards after getting hit kind of behind the line of scrimmage. And so watch that one again. Going to the outside, gets hit, turns, spins, keep going, then gets dragged or gets hit again by 2 or 3 more guys and drags them another 2 or 3 yards. So it doesn't look explosive, but he just continuously gets these hidden yards. And the reason I'm doing this, usually I talk about stats, but my mind, I was kind of disconnected. I had a disconnect where I'm like, well, how did Pacheco have so much production when it didn't really seem like he was doing the same things Kareem Hunt and Jamaal Charles were doing? And it's just that he's very sneaky with how he gets these extra yards. And he just consistently gives this extra effort where he's consistently picking up an extra 2 or 3, sometimes 4 yards. And that adds up to your average and makes it so that you have almost a 5 yards per carry average in the 2022 season. So next run, didn't really break too many tackles there, only gained about a yard after the contact. And then the last run, nothing impressive there. Oh, sorry, that was the second last run. And this is the last one. Gets hit, falls forward, makes it, 2 or 3 more yards. And that's just Pacheco's game, consistently picking up extra yards after contact. And so as far as the Chiefs camp is concerned and the Chiefs outlook for the 2022 season, I've heard a lot of people say that, look out, Deneric Prince is going to take Isiah Pacheco's job. I don't think it's going to happen. I think there's a reason Pacheco had the most yards per attempt since Kareem Hunt and then previously since Jamaal Charles. I think that, his extra effort is his style, and that's who he is. And while his motor's still ticking, he's going to continue to pick up these, 3 or 4 yards while also understanding and gaining the ability to find the hole better as he matures a little bit in the NFL. I think that the best is yet to come for Isiah Pacheco, and he could really be a piece for this Chiefs offense next season, especially with some young wide receivers who are still learning. And I think if there's been a little bit of silence before the storm or quiet before the storm, I think that situation applies to Pacheco for this season. Hasn't been talked about at all in training camp, really. Obviously, it's because he hasn't been able to practice. Most of the conversation about him has been about his injury and when he can come back. But I'm going to say don't sleep on Isiah Pacheco, because I've got a good feeling just from watching his tape, looking at his numbers, understanding who he is, where he came from. Next season could be a good year for him, and I think that 1,000-yard rushing season should be the goal, that he's shooting for. So I'm high on Isiah Pacheco. Let me know in the comments what you think. What do you think about these hidden yards that Isiah Pacheco picks up? Also, let me know in the comments if I'm wrong or if I'm seeing things wrong, or if you felt the same way watching Pacheco where you thought that he was good, you really appreciated his effort, but you didn't see that same level as Kareem Hunt or that same level as Jamaal Charles. So let me know in the comments what you saw, if you saw a player like that from the get-go, or you're kind of like me, there's a bit of a disconnect. And, as always, just like we do every time on these videos, make sure you hit the like button. I think the like button, is down around here somewhere. Make sure you hit it, and then subscribe too if you like what you see here. Once again, we're trying to get to 30,000 subscribers. And we really appreciate everyone that's joined us, everyone that contributes, everyone that comments. Much love to all of you guys. We're trying to get to 30,000, so we'll keep battling on. Hopefully we can get there sometime. But that's all I got to say. So this is Isiah Pacheco video. I'm really high on him, and I'm looking forward to the next Chiefs preseason game. I don't want to talk about too much about the Saints one. No injuries, so that's good to report on. But I'm looking forward to next week's game, and I'm looking forward to seeing what Isiah Pacheco can do this season. I think 1,000-yard rushing season is what he should shoot for, and I think it's an attainable goal. But with that, this is Gary signing out. Take it easy.
Thanks for watching this video from the team at RGR Football. Click these videos to see more and subscribe to RGR Football.